There might be only 10 units of the Huawei Mate 40 series this year. I might not be getting them in our stores until next year 2021, and there might not be a Mate 50 series next year. Hi there, I'm David, your favorite digerati, and it's that time of the year when new devices are being announced and released, and there's always so much buzz on the internet, and that's probably a lot of noise for you, especially if you're interested in knowing the specs of the phone before it is announced. Well, I'm here to help with that. I make videos a few days before an event with a compiled list of confirmed specs and rumors, so you would have everything you need to know before an event. And now here's everything we know and you need to know about Huawei's new installments in the Mate 40 series. The Huawei Mate 40, the Mate 40 Pro, the Mate 40 Pro Plus, and the Mate 40 Pro RS Porsche edition. Now, the Mate 40 series is going to be announced on the 22nd of October in an online event that will be held in China, and Huawei is actually expecting less sales performance due to the issues with the USA and the Google ban. It has reported that they only have 10 million units of the Kirin 9000 SoC chipsets, so that means we should be expecting that Huawei only produces 10 million units for sale. The Kirin 9000 chipset is also going to be the first 5nm chipset with a built-in 5G modem, and its Geekbench Mark 5 scores are impressive. It has a single core score of 1020 and a multi-core score of 3710, and for comparison, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra powered by the Snapdragon 865 scored around 900 in a single core score and 3100 in a multi-core score, and that's impressive. And sadly, in the future, Huawei might not be able to produce Kirin chipsets like this because the Huawei ban now blocks Huawei from making its own processors, and they're just living on stockpiled smartphone components, and there's also a chance that they might stop producing smartphones for a while. And now let's talk about the Huawei Mate 40 Pro. On the front of the phone, we will be getting a 6.76 inches AMOLED waterfall display, which looks amazing in my opinion, with a dual punch hole camera in the top left corner, and might come with an in-display fingerprint sensor. As for the cameras, it's rumored that we might be getting a 50 megapixel main sensor with liquid lens technology. The liquid lens technology was patented by Huawei a few months ago, and it allows for faster autofocus and better image stabilization. It may be for the Mate 50, but the rumors are suggesting that we might get it in the Mate 40. And for the back of the phone, this is how the back of the phone is expected to look like. The Mate 40 is expected to have a round camera cutout. The Mate 40 Pro RS Porsche edition is expected to have a hexagonal camera cutout, which is actually unique, but then I actually like the design because it allows for bigger camera sensors in the smartphone, and also I have noticed that the camera cutout actually reminds me of the olden days iPod. Rumors are also suggesting that we would get 8K video recording on the Mate 40 series. We're also expecting a 4400 mAh battery with 65 watts fast charging on the Mate 40 series, and it will have a ceramic body with a waterfall display on the front. I'm going to be listing the rumor specs of the Mate 40 and the Mate 40 Pro right after this. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you love it, subscribe to my channel, and also comment any questions or thoughts you have on the Mate 40 series. And now back to the video. As for the Huawei Mate 40, it will have a 6.4 inches AMOLED waterfall display with a pill-shaped punch hole dual selfie camera in the top left corner with a refresh rate of 90Hz and an in-display fingerprint sensor, and that looks really nice. And then the in-display fingerprint sensor is actually very convenient. It's expected to run EMUI 11 with a Kirin 9000 chipset with 512GB of storage with 12GB of RAM. And then the battery is also expected to be a 4300 mAh battery with 65 watts fast charging. It's expected to be a triple camera setup with another sensor. It's expected to have a 5 megapixel main camera with an aperture of f1.9 with f-stop 1.9, and then a 20 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with an aperture of f-stop 1.8, and then a 12 megapixel telephoto camera with an aperture of f-stop 3.4, and then a time of flight or depth sensor. The Mate 40 Pro is going to have a bigger display. It's going to have a 6.76 inches AMOLED waterfall display. Rumors are suggesting that it will have a 90Hz refresh rate, and then some other rumors are also suggesting that it will have a 120Hz refresh rate. It also have a refresh rate of 120Hz, but then I feel like it's most likely going to be a refresh rate of 120Hz since it's the Pro version, or maybe they reserve that for the Pro Plus version. It will have an in-display fingerprint sensor and a pill-shaped punch hole dual selfie camera in the top left corner. It will have physical buttons on the side, unlike the capacitive touchscreen buttons in the Mate 30 series. It will have an IR blaster on top of the phone, and then it's expected to have a 50 megapixel liquid camera with an aperture of f-stop 1.9 with optical image stabilization as the main camera, and then a 12 megapixel telephoto camera with an aperture of f-stop 3.4, and then a 40 megapixel ultra wide camera with an aperture of f-stop 1.8 with optical image stabilization. It will also have a depth sensor or a time of flight sensor. So it can record 4K video at 60 frames per second, and it's expected to run on the Kirin 1020 chipset with 512GB of storage and then 12GB of RAM. It's also expected to come with a 5000 mAh battery with 65 watts fast charge, and then it's expected to run on EMUI 11. Let me know what you think about the Mate 40 series down in the comments below. If you loved the video, a sub would be massively appreciated. If you thought it was just decent, a thumbs up will do for now. That's it, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.